Today we're headed out to Nashville, Tennessee, not to listen to country music, but for the scouting report of Vanderbilt, which is played by Little Chef. Hope it helps. All right, we're getting close to the, third season in our online Dynasty, and going to try to get out some scouting reports to you guys. Now, the whiteboard here that you can see, I don't have EA's permission to put some stuff on there, even though there's been some gameplay footage and stuff up there, so I really don't want to get in trouble. But I'm in the process of doing that. So right now, we're going to use this whiteboard and get a little creative with it. I do have some of the stats and stuff that have been pulled up. Chef helped with the editing on that to get a bunch of screenshots and stuff so I can look at everybody's stats and kind of figure out how to break down the breakdown of his team. Now, these are the stats from last year. So we're going to start out with just total offense. Now, Chef, that is his offense at Vanderbilt. He had 5165 total yards of offense. Now, he had 2,100, this is his total offense. He had 2,105 passing yards and 1940 on rushing yards. So basically, this right here, he's been pretty even. This isn't far off. So basically, what the yards will tell you is he's passing and rushing, just kind of whatever's working. He does both. He's not more dominant for passing or rushing. He's scoring about 30 points per game, which is not bad. Passing touchdowns, 19. Rushing touchdowns, 23. Now this is still pretty good, pretty balanced. He runs a pretty balanced offense. Most of you guys can see that when you watch his videos. There's not much there on that one. And on offense, he was sacked 19 times. He gave up 19 sacks. Pretty low. Looking at some of the other teams, a lot of people had, 20 to 30, sacks. So we'll break down the offensive line and stuff and coming up here in a minute. Now, Chef's defense. He gave up 2190 in passing and 1087, 1078 dyslexic rushing. This is passing yards, rushing yards. He sacked 33 sacks. This is defense. 33 sacks. I promise I can write and I do have an education. 33 sacks. He had 17 picks on the year. This ain't a bad number. A little low for an elite corners. 33 sacks is pretty good. That's a bunch on the year. Now this here, he's almost given up 1,000 more yards passing. So more than he is rushing. Now some of this has to do with the computer can't run the ball worth a crap, really. If you play balanced and play good, the computer has a hard time running the ball on you for big yardage. Because most of the users were the lowest in the country on rushing yards. But he did play a few users, played 1, 2, 3, I believe. I think he played 3 users, so only give up this much on the whole year is not bad. Like I said, his secondary with only giving up 17 interceptions and for almost plus 1,000 for his passing. So that seems to be the way to beat him a little bit. But I'd probably recommend staying balanced on him because if you go just one-sided, he's going to pick up on that and it's going to be rough. All right, now we're going to go to his takeaways. All right, defense. He has given up the ball 12 times total. He has 12 total giveaways where he's given up the ball to either a pick or interception. He's thrown 9 interceptions and has 3 fumbles. 9 interceptions for the season. That's pretty good. I think I had a lot more than that, but I throw the ball a lot more than he does. I love to throw the ball. Um, but 9 interceptions isn't bad. So don't force any passes. All right, now's when it gets a little bit juicy. We're going to look at offense and kind of break down what he does as an offense based on the stats and based off his players. So here's his offense. All right, Hurd, his quarterback, sophomore last year. We're going to be a junior this year. He's a 90 overall, and this is before the upgrades, before the training results. Now, he's only got a speed of 73. Okay? This guy's not going to outrun anybody. His strength's low, his agility's low, his acceleration's low. Not a running quarterback. Okay? QB, he's not a runner. Not saying he's not going to run some read options. Probably going to pick and choose where he runs these. But he's not going to, he's not a barn burner. He's no Cam Newton, nothing like that. So we go into his bread and butter. Now this is his QB. We're going to leave this stuff up here. Now, his running back, what's his name? Stuckey. He's running back, Stuckey. He's going to be a senior this year. He was last year's Heisman winner. He's got great speed. Running back. His speed, 91. Okay. He's got low strength, but his agility, acceleration, the guy's a speed back. He's going to be back again. He's going to be a lot better. His break tackle's really good. It's a 77. Trucking is okay. His elusiveness is way up there. It's in the 90s. His elusiveness is up there. Chef loves to run the ball. We've all seen that. Pretty much, when I play Chef, I try to score early. Well, I'm having some problems. All right, score early on him and force him into passing situations because he wants to run the ball. If Chef could run the ball every single play on you, he'd do it. So when I play him, I try to score early to where he feels he's got to play catch-up every time, especially if he's having problems stopping my offense, which is what happened a couple of times we played. I think I might have been the first to score. Anyway, but his running back's good. He's going to be back again. Now, the second, third, and fourth string guys, now if some reason Stuckey gets hurt, Chef's going to have a hard time running the ball against top-level defenses because it kind of falls off the table after that. Now, his passing, everybody knows he wants to throw to his tight ends. Carrington, on his team, is the tight end. I believe he's going to be back next year. Let me pull up the stats here for him. Yeah, he's a junior. Carrington's going to be a senior. He's got great speed for a tight end, great strength, really good basically across the board. His tight end, 43 receptions. He's the number one person that Chef wanted to go to. Number one receiver. So look for Chef to go to his tight ends. That's nothing new if you watch any of his videos. Now he's got, look at this. He's got 562 yards with his tight end. His next receiver is Stuckey. I wish it was two Stuckeys, and they're both J Stuckey. Is next receiver Stuckey. Look at this. 23 receptions, 343 yards. So look at the difference here. So he's going to his tight ends more. And his tight ends, 6 touchdowns on the year. And the next receiver, Jones, has 5. And no. Jones has 5. And I don't know what Jones is. He might be the guy he had in his slot, 'cause I know Stuckey was on the outside. But nevertheless, his tight end, that's who he wants to throw the ball to. All right. I mapped this out here to give you a visual on his O-line. Now, Roth, he doesn't have a number. This guy's a senior. He graduated. So I don't know he's going to have there. I have no way of looking at that. He's sitting right beside me. I can ask him. But that's not fair because the other people that are in the Dynasty, I don't have no way of knowing besides sending everybody a message. I'm not going to do that. Now, this is their overall for all these guys. Now, Watkins, he is the lowest on the line. Now, this, like I said, this is before the onset, the training results, okay? Now, Marshall, he gave up the most sacks. So he gave up 5 sacks. Watkins gave up 3. Greer gave up, if I can find him, 3. Jones gave up 2. All right, now based on this, if you're a guy that likes to bring a lot of pressure, I'd bring a bunch of pressure to this left side, or it's gonna, the left side, which is gonna be the right when you're calling plays, because it's flipped when you're picking a play. So I'd bring it from over here. Now I'd get on there and look who he's gonna have at center. And 2, you don't know if he might have recruited somebody to fill some of these spots. But if you see this and it's the same people there, if I was going to pick a side to bring pressure, I'd bring it from over here. Not saying I want to bring it every single time because obviously if he's running something out of the shotgun, right, and he runs a counter this way and you're bringing all this pressure and linebackers down through this way, they're going to come busting through. And you ain't going to have nobody out here to stop anybody except a cornerback or one of the safeties. And that's 2 people. So, and that's after he gets, 6 yards unless you brought them up. So I'd be careful with that. All right, now we're going to talk about the defense for Vanderbilt. And I just realized I've been spelling offense and defense wrong. So apparently I'm a dummy. Now, before you say I have 13 players on here, I know I have 13 players. But depending on middle linebackers and different sets, there's only going to be 11, obviously. First thing I want to look at is his defensive tackles. Now, he had a senior that left, which is replaced by, I think, this guy right here, which had 0 sacks. These numbers on the top for the defensive line were their sacks. 701-19. Now, stamina over here on his defensive tackles is 76 and 77 for the stamina. That's not very good. For somebody that runs a hurry-up offense, a great idea to run a hurry-up, and then you let it go and substitute so he can substitute out, and you can substitute a new running back in there if you have 2 that can run the ball good. And once he substitutes those out, you'll have a fresh running back, and he'll have guys in there that are not as good because you're getting 79, 78. Once you get farther down in the depth chart, I mean, obviously the guys aren't going to be as good. So once he substitutes out, you better run the ball some more. Now, his defensive ends are really good. Their stamina, 83, 88. It's going to take a bunch to get them off the field. Now, with the 7 sacks and the 19, the guy's quick, got good stuff going on. Now, on to the linebackers. He's got a great young linebacking core. Now, obviously, if all those are on there, you're not going to have as many corners. But for him to be stopping the ball, that's good. With all these guys, I'd recommend trying to run out of a spread offense. Because if you run out of 4 wide, he's going to have to put 4 defenders on here, and you're going to take away the 2 linebackers, and you're just going to have the 1. That's your nickel look. take away the 2, you just have 1. That way you only have be able to run the ball with 1 linebacker. On to the secondary. His secondary is all young guys. They're all coming back. They've done pretty decent. 4-3, 3-3 interceptions. His weakest guy is this person here. He's 4th on the depth chart. But he did have 3 interceptions on the year. So I would look to target this guy here, who this guy's covering. If you got 4 good receivers. Get him in a spread look with 4 wide. Have this guy covering somebody that's a better receiver than him. I also want to look at the press rating. Now, I think his name is Washington. He's his best corner. The guy's going to be a junior, so he's going to have him for a couple more years. Usually the best corners are going to be the guys on the outside. Now, at a nickel set, this guy here, 74, this guy's going to be the nickel back. So he's going to be roaming the field from side to side depending on where your 2 receivers or 1 receiver's at. So if you have 2 receivers on this side, this nickel back's going to come over here. If you have 2 on this side, he'll stay on this side. So his press rating, 86. Now, if you don't know what pressing is, so if he has a receiver, you're having a receiver here, right? He's going to try to block this guy at the line from getting on his route, which 86, that's really good, but it goes really downhill from there. Now, Jackson is his next corner. He's out here with 72 press. That's not very good. So if he's going to press, I'd look at letting this guy go. He's going to be covering the receiver that's out wide on this side. But this side is not going to be able to press anybody that has a great release or great strength. Same goes for 74, or not 74, but Dawson, the 3rd corner. He's got a press rating of 72. Now, Johnson, this guy here, he's got a better press rating than these 2. So you're just going to have to kind of pick your battles, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to press anybody at the line or try to slow down anybody's passing game. Now on to the deep secondary. He's got great young free safeties and strong safeties. They are, this guy here, he's got great speed, 87. He didn't have any picks on the year, but this guy only had 2. But from playing Chef and watching Chef, he ain't going to bring a lot of pressure from his guys. He runs a lot of cover 2 stuff. So these guys are going to be backing up into zone a lot of times to cut the field in half. So basically what I would try to do is look at him in a 4 wide set and try to get some quick routes over the center here. Run some slants. Or if he presses you, I'd look at one of these other receivers on a deep route and get it to him in between where this receiver is going to run, in between once he beats his initial defender and before the safety can come back up. So there's going to be an empty space in here where you can throw the ball to. Or you can come over the middle with a slant. Because if you have 4 wide, you're only going to have the 1 linebacker, which will be covering the running back. Middle linebacker in man coverage, receiver, 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 receiver. 2 deep safety if it's cover 2. The 1 middle linebacker is going to be covering the running back. And I haven't found a middle linebacker yet because, believe me, I looked. To try to find any kind of linebackers that are great at coverage. They all stink. So any linebackers anywhere covering running backs, look to give it to them. All right, basically to sum it up. What to watch for. Look out for his running back. Okay? Look out for this guy. Chef's going to look to run the ball a bunch. Okay? This guy's going to get a bunch of carries. So look to stop his running back in the running game. Look to stop his tight end in the passing game. Look to stop his tight end in the passing game for when you're on defense. Offense. Look to get him in a spread set. Because he's got some young corners. One of them's pretty good. So I'd look to go to your second, third, and fourth receivers. Look to run hurry up. Look to run hurry up on offense to get the defensive tackles off the field, because they have low stamina. And that pretty much sums it up for Vanderbilt. All right, look to do these things. I hope it helps. And good luck when you play Vanderbilt.